The news article has been selected by Dr. Mantak sir, and it's about economics and economic studies. So you have 15 minutes to discuss and to come to a consensus. Let's start with the discussion.
We've all read the article and we know that the problem is that whatever we are learning is not really applicable, because we're just learning the theory, we're just learning concepts, but we don't know what goes behind those concepts, how those concepts are actually evolved, and that is something that is lacking in the education system, and that is something that is felt not only by the people who employ us, but even as students we are realizing that, there's something missing. And as a result, we are not happy with just getting a degree now. We want complete education. We really want to know everything. We just don't want numbers or formulas. We want to know how it actually happened.
Okay, even if the concepts are clear, if you try to explain yourself the concept with the help of the example, so how are you going to apply them in the real life? If, for example, you are learning now about foreign exchange, so how are you going to apply this? The money market. How will you explain yourself with the real world?
See, basically, if you say about forex or anything like that, there are always certain trends that are going on. First of all, you need to study the trend. You need to study the history and study the trend of it. Right? Once you are done with the trend of it, then you will be able to predict the future, predict what will happen in the future.
I think Google is right, because after this 2008 crisis that's happened, and everybody's talking about recession and what happened and this crisis, and the whole world is melting down and this instability, everybody is automatically become more interested in economics and what is going on in today's economy, and people have this hunger for knowledge that what is austerity, what is stimulus, what are the things that is affecting my country. And so I think this is a great opportunity for new economists to emerge, like how John Maynard Keynes, he came off after the Great Depression in the 1930s. This too is a kind of a recession, an extreme recession, not a depression, but this can also spike a lot of interest and move a lot of curiosity towards economics. And economics can also not only be just about money, but it can be about many other factors, like you mentioned in this article too, it's about human behavior. So yeah, there is many channels where economics is not just limited to money, but it can also be about today's problems, how to generate employment, how to live a higher standard of living, and we should all be interested in economics to that extent.
And also taking Sir's point ahead, when Sir said that economics is about feelings, it is the psychology. We can see in the second paragraph, they have said that there are pressing issues which the generation notices today: inequality of opportunity, financial instability, and climate change. We feel these changes already, and looking at these economic conditions, we are interested, we develop interest, like Urvil said, we develop interest in the subject. But when we go and learn about them in our degree colleges, we cannot relate to the historical models. We can relate today because we know examples and we are learning theory along with examples, so we can relate better. So I think curriculum should be more practical, and that is the problem which is highlighted in the article.
I think we have focused more on the problems. I mean, till now, we have all been very problem focused. Now we know what the problems are, and so we need to focus on the solution. And I think one solution can be an interdisciplinary approach to economics, or for any subject for that matter. Because subjects like economics, psychology, sociology, they are not watertight compartments, they overlap at some point. And even as during this lecture we have seen how much Sir has told us about history, about political science. That is not pure economics, that is sociology, history, political science, everything overlaps. And the solution lies in an interdisciplinary approach, according to me. Because as Abbas said, if you want to know what is the behavior of human, the consumer behavior, you should not have a pure economic perspective on it. You need to have a psychological perspective or a sociological perspective as well. So the information, I'd rather not use the term knowledge. The information which we are getting is not being applicable in the real world. And I think the solution to this lies in making it interdisciplinary so that it can be much more holistic in view.
Just one point I to Neha actually mentioned on case studies. We can't predict the future of our economy. As for example, if you read today's Economic Times, there is in a start they said there would be better job opportunities for people. But as Sir mentioned, at the start of 2015, it's going to be a tough task for all the people, the economy is struggling. So I believe we can't predict the 2020 or the 2028 economy, how it is going to.
Yeah, but you cannot predict the future, but as Sir had rightly said that there is nothing a right decision or there is no wrong decision in any economy. It is only the phase which takes you towards the right or the wrong decision. Because if you have read the article, it says 2008 vote was missed. No one knows the reason for the fallout and no one wants to know the reason how the economy came back to a stronger note. If that study was taken in a procedural form, at least our children would know, okay, if such situations arises in the near future, what steps should be taken to avoid. I believe that is more important, to study each and every aspect of what economy is actually doing.
Talking about solutions, I believe that finance at an earlier age should be promoted, like till the 10th standard. I don't believe I think we have only theoretical knowledge, we have mathematics, statistics, but basics. But how you apply it in real world, we still don't have any idea till that age. So that is one area.
People are getting tech savvy, but they are not getting financial savvy. That is more important.
And we also merge all these approaches of what interdisciplinary plus what we are saying we have statistical tools and the ability to predict the future. Our ability to compute undoubtedly has gone very, very high. We can crunch numbers that people never had the capacity to. And we have the data which can date back to accurately many, many years ago. So we can use these tools at our disposal, and there are many economic models. There is game theory as well, which is also a very vast field, which is also a lot to do with mathematics as well, in how people behave and how decisions are made, and how we can understand at a practical level how people, going back to microeconomics, how people respond to incentives, or how to disincentivize something, or how to show people the path to a better future that can also involve, for all of us to live in a better sustainable way.
I think, as Mihir said, we should add finance at an earlier age, since the fields of behavioral economics and social economics are already at a high stage right now. Everyone is interested in them currently. So those could also be introduced at a school level, at the 10th, 12th level. Because I think children could easily understand those behavioral economics, and they could later on, as they study the actual economics, adapt those concepts to the real world.
I would like to put that all the points in simple words. I think the title itself explains everything. Economics explains our world, but economic degrees don't. That is something we have that explains our world, but something the economic degrees that don't explain them. So all the thing that goes wrong is the approach behind the subject. We have to change the approach looking towards the subject. That will just create something different. That is just going on behind the solutions and finding the reasons why and how. That will give us a more systematic approach.
And the approach can be given by, if a student wants to know why should I learn economics, he could just answer a simple question: what's in store for me? What would I benefit from? So he should go right from bottom to top, like how if the dollar price is increasing, how is it going to affect your toffee? So he needs to know how it's going to affect his toffee, and from there he needs to climb the ladder. So if you don't explain, you don't get a proper trainer to explain how it's going to affect your toffee, he's not going to learn or listen to you. So I believe we should go right from the basics. So that is more important. Even like if someone asks me the petrol prices are rising, what is your talk on it? I would not be able to say anything, because if I'm not fueling my car up, I don't know what is going to happen.
Okay guys, last 2 minutes to come to a consensus, come to a conclusion as to what our approach should be. So far the story has been that the approach to the whole study pattern should be corrected. What all things should be corrected? We'd like to review on that.
I think economics is not something which is just something which is too abstract and remote from real life. You've got to learn to perceive economics in every day-to-day life. Like every time we do something, there is demand and supply at play, there is marginal utility at play, and the macro environment is also affecting you. So you have to understand that economics is basically the framework of our entire society. It's not just a subject which is just taught to you because it's a part of your syllabus. So that should be the approach, and that should be the outlook of people.
To add to Tausif's point, when he says that this is the time to be an economist, I think we have seen from the history that turbulences, economic turbulences have created economists. So I think this is the right time to take interest in economics and not look at it as a heavy word, but like Udvil said, going in a regression method, like we know the output now we'll have to learn the effects of that output on our daily lifestyle. So that can one be that we can include it as a subject in our curriculum one. Second is take interest in the subject on our own and also promote financial knowledge in the real sense.